Hi everybody, I'm Freyleyce and welcome back to another one of my videos. So we all know what time it is. It's the end of February, which means it's time for my monthly wrap up. I love these videos, I love watching these videos, and now that I have my own channel, I love making these videos. Like, they're probably one of my favorites to make. For some reason, I get really fucking like nervous in recommendation videos, and I act really weird. So these ones just make me feel more at home. I'm more chill. Either way, today we're wrapping up all the books I read in February. I feel like this is really essential because some books that I read this month, I'm never going to recommend on my channel. Like, I don't have a huge hate for them, but I didn't love them. So how am I supposed to talk about them if I'm not going to really recommend them? Who's going to chat about them with me? That's what these videos are for, basically. The 27th of February. I'm really, and I mean really fucking busy tomorrow. So I had to film it today. Not a problem though, because I think I already know what I'm going to read. I ended up finishing 25 by tomorrow books in 28 days, which was great. I'm actually super surprised at the amount that I did end up reading. Also, look at this gorgeousness. I switched up for you guys so my candy shelf is like up there. Y'all are here for books. Y'all don't want to see what kind of candy I eat. Either way, I've said that 3 times, so let's actually get into the books that I read this month. I can never fucking remember. Actually, no! Oh, I do remember the book I read at the beginning of the month. I was gonna pull up my Goodreads, and I'm still going to because there's a lot more that I will forget, and I have forgotten. I know the book that I read at the beginning of this month, and that was Prisoner by Annika Martin and Skye Warren, I think. This one. It was so fucking good. I listened to this on audio via Scribd. A male voice for the narration. Oh my god, y'all, he was so good. Oh, what is his name? I feel like I should get his name for you guys, but I am planning to do a audiobook recommendations video because that one was so good. Either way, this follows Abigail and Grayson. Grayson is an inmate, and Abigail is like she's a college student, but she's like trying to get her arts degree or something like that, so she's working with the prison system. There's kind of like a Insta connection vibe going on. He uses her to get out of prison as his escape, right? And so they kind of have this like simmering tension going on, and then he escapes and ends up kidnapping her because she sees him escape. Yeah, I thoroughly fucking enjoyed this one. 5-star read, just so easily 5 stars, you know? And then I was like super hyped after reading that one, and I ended up reading Lifeline by Michelle Hurd. I was super excited for it. It's about 2 FBI agents. They go undercover in the mafia, friends to lovers, but like a lot of anguish and emotion. Everything that it said was gonna happen happened. They go undercover. He gets like really embedded in the mafia, and he like starts to disassociate from what is reality and what is undercover work, and I didn't really like that. I don't know, I thought it made him be something he wasn't, which, I mean, I don't know the psychological effects of that, so there's probably some, but I don't know. For that, I was just like, seriously? Yeah, it was a little disappointing. I didn't really love this book. I didn't really have a connection with the characters, I guess. Like, they were just characters. I didn't love them, I didn't hate them, but they were just characters. So I ended up giving this one a 3 out of 5 stars. It was good. It was really disappointing though, because I was super pumped for it. And then I read The Words by Ashley Jade, and I love Ashley Jade as an author. I read a lot of her more high school stuff just before summer of last year, and this one was great. It was her newest release, Rockstar Romance. Y'all know I love that, and I was really excited for it because the characters were a little different than what you would normally see in a Rockstar book. Lennox, that's our heroine, right? I fucking loved her. She shocked me so much. I thought she was gonna be really annoying. I loved her. I didn't really love Phoenix. I didn't quite get his thing. I just kind of thought he made some moves that I didn't really agree with and I didn't really like. But Lennox, girl, I loved her. I rated it like 4 stars because I really loved Lennox. I did enjoy their story, but the plot is just something I've seen so many times. I hope you guys know how much I enjoy filming and talking to you because I'm missing a hockey game for this right now. I just got a notification. I'm like, ugh. And then I read Frivolous by Veronica Lancet. I'm on a Veronica Lancet like binge. I don't know. I'm loving her work currently. I really need to get into the Morally Questionable series. I've read the first 2 and I can't seem to go anywhere because there's always books on my TBR. But Frivolous, it was one of her standalones. Her world building is a little confusing from like the big scope of things, like all of her books together. So I think I was supposed to read this one before I read the Morally Questionable series. I really don't know. It was bodyguard romance. Also had a lot of revenge plot. They're like opposing mafia syndicates, I guess, and he's put undercover as their bodyguard to try and get information and destroy their family. I mean, we've seen that plot a lot. I enjoyed it though. It was enemies to lovers at the beginning until like 30%, where it was kind of abruptly switched to non-enemies. I love the enemies to lovers thing. Like, you guys know Callum and Ada from The Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark, where she, on their wedding day, right, arranged marriage, he's like anaphylactic to strawberries, and she eats strawberries all day and uses strawberry lip gloss, and he faints at their wedding. Like, I was getting that kind of vibe, and I really enjoyed it. I just did think the switch was a little abrupt. I have a few issues with it. I really did enjoy it though. This was a 3.5 or 3.75 star, a 5-star rating. Then I read Deliver Book 1 by Pam Godwin. And I was super excited to get into this because it was an audiobook and it was the same narrator from Prisoner that I read at the beginning. I could not do this, y'all. I don't know what about it. No, I do know what about it. Basically, it follows Josh and Liv. And Liv kidnaps Josh and kind of trains him to sell to the highest bidder. So it is like human trafficking. And so I knew that going into it. I was like, guys, what is going on? But also, I think listening to this in audiobook was just so fucking heavy. I couldn't do. I just did a recommendation video. I'll link it above. I don't know which corner it is. But this was dark. I think it's because I listened to it on audio and I listened to it for like 6 hours in one day, and I went to bed and I was like, Jesus Christ, like that was way too much for me. I wouldn't quite call it rape scene after rape scene, but it was heavy and I was like, whoa. I didn't realize what kind of like toll it would take. So I ended up DNFing it at like 70% just because I was like, I can't do this in audio. It's not free on Kindle Unlimited, so I don't really see myself continuing. Then it was like the 9th of February and I was getting in the Valentine's Day mood, so I read Sweet Girl by Jack Whitney. Yeah, didn't love it. It's a novella. They meet at a like party that's a promotion for a dating app, and I just thought it was, I mean, it's novella. It's a novella. How much can I love it? I did rate it on the lower side for a novella though, because there wasn't a happy ending because it's like a prequel, but it's marketed as a novella. Like, there's not a happy ending. This is a prequel. The sex scenes were nice, but I didn't really like it. Then I read Music, Lights, and Never Afters by C.L. Matthews. Another thing I was so pumped for. Rockstar romance again, second chance too, and a little bit of taboo. And I saw this on Instagram and I was like, oh girl, I need that. And so I instantly read it. Really disappointing. I DNF'd it at like 50 just because I did not care about the characters. If you notice, there's a lot of DNFs this month. I made a pact to not read a book if I don't think it's gonna be a new favorite, an absolute like all-time 5-star, you know? So I'm trying to implement it, which ended up with a lot of DNFs this month. So I felt like it was pushing the taboo and it was trying to be something it's not, and I was like, but that also might be because I'm me and I don't read a lot of contemporary. And I think I ended up giving it like 3.5 stars. Even though it was a DNF, I shouldn't have rated it. It also had a non-binary, asexual, I think they were asexual, side character in it, which I loved, but I really felt like they weren't a side character. Like, they were a main fucking character. We didn't get their point of view, but it felt like they were so in the story. And I love to see the representation. I loved that. But it felt like there was 3 main characters in a romance between 2 people. And then I read This Love Hurts, which I think is like book 1 in a trilogy of novellas by Willow Winters. I just saw this because I was busy with my business, looking on Scribd for a quick audiobook. 4 hours. So I was like, yeah, gimme. And I ended up listening to it. It was a little hard to get through. I was pushing myself, which I think is just because I'm not enjoying audiobooks right now. It follows FBI agent and a lawyer and a serial killer, and they have this like love triangle thing that I don't know how it is gonna end up, because I listened to this one, I loved it, there was like 0 steam, and there was fade to black scenes, and I was like, But it's okay, because in the next one there were more. It got me really intrigued to see where it goes, but then I ended up DNFing the next one. We'll get into that one when it comes, but I enjoyed this one. I think I gave it like 3.75 out of 5 stars. And then I read Damaged by Lila Frost, and this one was just a quick little something. It had mental health a lot in this, but it didn't at the same time. Like, does that make sense? It doesn't, but if that was the way to describe this book, it'd be that. Yeah, I did enjoy it. It was just really basic, you know, which was kind of what I was looking for. It's not a top favorite. It was 3 out of 5 stars. But I did enjoy the representation of mental health, even if it wasn't like fully there. And they were cute together. I liked their happy ending, and I liked how the hero was like really what she needed. And then I read Crowned by Hate by Emma Jones. I have a reading vlog for this one, and it's up in one of these corners. Also, I'll link it down below, but oh my god, the mindfuck of the century. It says that at the top, but I am not shitting you. It was so confusing, and then this just makes up for it. It was so good. The Duet is 2 novellas, like, boop. real skinny. Vlogged it. You can see my thoughts in that video. I'm not gonna go into detail because that vlog's like 13 minutes long, so you can look there. Then I read Blame It on the Champagne by Fiona Cole. This is book 1 in her Blame It on the Alcohol series, and I've read book 2 because it's Rockstar Romance and Stepbrother Romance. So I was like, okay. But I came back to read this one. I loved this one. It's an arranged marriage between Nico and Vera. I know I don't remember all the characters' names, but somehow I remember this one. I finished it really quick too. I rated this 4 stars. Just really great. And then I read the next one, which is Blame It on the Tequila. A reread, actually. I read this like May of 2021. I loved it just as much. I really love Nova. She is a heroine that I'll probably remember for a very long time. She is so likable. So likable, and she's got the greatest vibes too. I really love their friend group. They're a little cliche to me, but that just might be because I don't have that many friends. Yeah, I thought this was Rockstar Romance written really well. Second Chance too. Oh, I just love this book. I really love this book. I really love the emotions. Parker's great. It's written in true Fiona Cole style. There's some spice in this. I really loved it. This one was like a 4.25. I enjoyed it just a bit more than I did Blame It on the whatever, Champagne. Third one comes out in April, so it looked like it was the perfect time for a reread. I didn't know that until the end of the book though. And then I read Denali Vipers by K.A. Knight, and if you watched my last video, I recommended it in that one, once again in the corners, whatever one. So you know I enjoyed it. I recommended it. This follows Roxanne and her 4 Vipers. I don't know. I'm thinking about it right now and I'm like, what to say about it? I don't really know. I really liked the dynamics between them all. It's a lot of smut and not a lot of plot, which was great. That was what I was looking for. Yes, it doesn't need to be 700 pages. Ugh. And then I read Stolen by J. Marie. 2 stars. This is in a 5-book series, I think, about the same couple. How do y'all do that? I've never read a series about the same couple for like 5 books that I ever enjoyed. I just don't even know why they exist. Yeah, it's really short. I read this on Scribd. I didn't like it. It was like non-con for 200 pages. The hero was really unlikable, so was the heroine, honestly. Like, girl, she was trying to be so strong and she was not. It was not it. I didn't really enjoy this. I definitely won't be continuing, and that's not just because they don't have the books on Scribd, just because like I did not like this. I won't be continuing. And then we have another reread this month. I reread Sicko by Emma Jones. She released the new pretty cover and I love it. I will be buying it. Sorry, I was fiddling with the pages, so I had to put them back. But I enjoyed this as much as I did the first time. This is just a solid book. I love Jade, I love Royce, I love their family, I love the MC Club. But yeah, I don't know. I love them. I love them as a couple. They're one of my favorite couples of all time. A 5 out of 5 star. Another 5-star read. After that, I read A Vow of Hate by Lila James. Oh my god, I was so hyped for this. It's an enemies to lovers, and does it deliver? Like 90%, they still hated each other. There's so many plot twists in this book. Basically, it follows Juliana and Killian, and they have an arranged marriage at a really beautiful castle, actually. I love the like gothic vibes. They've both been through so much and they really hate each other because of circumstances, but then stuff flips and I was like, what just happened? I could not wrap my head around it. I sat there, like I put the Kindle down and I was like, what? Because I was so lost. This was so good and I could not wait to recommend it in a video to you guys. And then we kind of like trickle off at the end of the month. On the 23rd, I read Ricochet by Candace Wright or something. Ooh, this was bad. I was so hyped going into this. Female serial killer, I always love them. So she's a homeless girl. She gets involved in a gang and then later on they like hire her as one of their key kingpins or whatever. She runs a certain part of the city. I was so confused about the romance. It's like 60% and we still don't know who she was gonna get with. I hate that because I literally need like a lot of pages to actually believe that these people love each other. I have trust issues and you really didn't get to see any development. I thought she was really strong, but like over strong. I did end up reading it all. I don't know why. I should have DNF'd. The next one is a DNF. It's called But I Need You by Willow Winters, which is the second book in a quick audiobook novellas. I just think that this could have been like one normal sized book. It felt like it was going on for a bit. I loved Marcus, who's the serial killer in this, right? It's an FBI agent, lawyer, serial killer. And I did like, Delilah as a character, but I just didn't really see where it was going, you know? Like, I could already figure out most of the plot twists. Like, her dad is the villain. I will probably skip to the end of the 4th book to see what happens because I'm really intrigued. I really want to see who she ends up with, but I don't want to listen to it all. And then I read a Mafia Duet. The first one was Mafia Mistress by Mila Fanelli. It follows Fausto and Francesca. They are an arranged marriage to Fausto's son, and so they go to Italy. Oh, it was gorgeous. The setting was 100, but I didn't really love the relationship. In the first one, it was good. I mean, I enjoyed the taboo aspect to it. Or not really taboo, but like forbidden aspect. There were some parts in this, oh, they were so cringy. Also in the second one, which is Mafia Darling, y'all, it's also age gap. I don't know, there was just parts of this that were cringy. I think I found Fausto cringy in general. Did y'all know that Paparino means daddy in Italian? And they were using that almost every time she said Paparino, I just wanted to think of a pizzeria and like the guy at Alibaba with the circling pizza, and I was like, oh my god. So yeah, I finished them. I gave the first one 4 stars, I think, and then the second one 3 or 3.5 because whoa, that was a bit of a mess. Kind of the last book, I guess, of this wrap up was His Hollow Heart, I think, by Rachel Lee. It was a best friends to enemies to lovers thing, and they met when they were young. They were in the same foster house together, and I love that kind of plot. It wasn't executed well. We saw nothing of them when they were younger. He was so hot and cold, like, dude, make up your mind. It was a DNF at like 40%. I'm actually currently reading 2 books. We'll talk about the first one because I did kind of start that on the like 26th or something. That one is Cease to Beat the Same. Yeah, by Brianna Theory. I probably got that wrong. This is a vampire romance, and I was pumped because I haven't read one since Halloween. So I was super excited to get into this one, and I'm loving it, but I cannot, for some reason, get into the plot. I'll hopefully finish it. I'll give you guys that in my March wrap up. Oh my god, it's almost March. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I gave you like an accurate description of all of the books. Sometimes I can't formulate thoughts without going on a rant. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and all my socials are down in the description. I'll see you guys in my next video.